on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
I would like it looked into. I mean, that would be good. I'm glad that the question is being asked, whether Google is accessing our children's information. I would like to know if that's happening.
Questions and concerns have been raised over whether or not our children's privacy is really being kept private. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Google Apps for Education is a program used in both Fargo and Moorhead school districts as a free way to collaborate on projects and get homework done.
Google is known for using data to target advertising to users, and now lawmakers are questioning the privacy policies and data collection on students by Google. Now, this includes the free software used by many schools both nationwide and here locally.
Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood digs in to discover if our local schools are releasing that precious information on our kids to Big Brother.
I don't know to what extent they are accessing their information, what they're writing, what they're creating. I would rather that they would not do that, and if they are doing that, it would be nice to know, particularly if that's going to be integrated into the school system.
In the Fargo and Moorhead school districts, kids elementary through high school rely heavily on technology to complete homework or even projects. High school students can even take home their devices, whether it be a tablet or school-issued laptop. And for middle schoolers, like twins Ariana and Talia, their devices stay at school. But it's a certain search engine that's becoming the topic of internet privacy conversations.
It's very effective. It hits the kids where they are. They like being online. They like to be able to do things independently. They like to research things that they find interesting. It's called Google Apps for Education, and we use it in the school district here.
But not all are on board the Google train, saying that potential mental health data, information on sexual orientation, or info for target advertising is being accessed by Google.
I think Americans have a fundamental right to know what data is being collected.
Even Minnesota Senator Al Franken had some of the same questions.
Google's going to provide some answers to my questions.
So much so, he sent a letter to Google demanding answers on whether or not they're using students' private data for non-educational purposes.
Were they taking their location data? Were they taking data in order to sell it to third parties? Are they selling it to third parties to do advertising to these students? I wanted to know more about what Google was doing. And I think every American has a right to know what data is being collected and whether it's being shared. And I think certainly our students have that right.
Shane Mercer, parent of Ariana and Talia, wants to know more.
If Google can access my kids' information, that is somewhat of a concern to me. I don't know if that's going on.
Westrick adds that it's a requirement to start with Google Apps for Education with Google, and it is a requirement that Google agrees not to sell information.
Is it under your impression that our kids' information is safe?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you think so?
Because that's the agreement that we have with Google. It's a publicly signed document Google has with the community that they do not share student information.
When we asked Fargo schools if they gave Google specific instructions on how Google can use student data, we were directed to the Student Privacy Pledge page, saying that they won't use or sell student information, use behaviorally target advertising, or use data for authorized education purposes. Westrick supports Google Apps for Education amidst the talk around the topic.
It is really great for group projects where they can share information, and extremely useful for allowing teachers to share information that kids can easily see and do it in a way that it's easy for the kids to turn the work in afterwards, which sometimes is the most difficult mile to reach.
Our experience has been that the school system has been very responsible, and I think they'll do their due diligence on this.
In Fargo, Christine Stanwood, Valley News Live.
We reached out to Google for a comment on the matter, and they say they don't have any information to share at this time. Senator Franken has not yet heard from Google in response to his letter. They're expecting a response by February 12th. And stick around. Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, a story about how your children's toys could also potentially get hacked.
A 28-year-old man is behind bars tonight after turning himself into Fargo police for murdering an elderly man early Sunday. Paul Miller remains in the Cass County Jail, and authorities say they believe Miller and the victim knew each other. 28-year-old Billy Holliday was killed in what's being described as a drive-by shooting. At the time, Holliday was said to be dropping off his 3-year-old cousin. Some Enderlin townspeople say they suspect drugs played a role in the crime.
You know, I really don't know what the cause of the shooting was, but no, I would not be surprised at all to learn that drugs were involved.
The Ransom County Sheriff tells us that he is aware of the talk that it's drug-related, but added they are still investigating. A pickup and weapon that are believed to have been used in the shooting were recovered in rural Barnes County.
A Perham, Minnesota man will spend more than a decade behind bars for shooting another man living on his property. Gerald Dwayne Schulte was sentenced to 15 years in prison after pleading guilty to attempted murder. He has already spent about 5 months behind bars. The shooting happened on September 4th, 2015. The Otter Tail County Sheriff says a woman called them just after 7 in the morning saying her boyfriend had been shot. When deputies arrived, the 39-year-old victim was lying near the road with a gunshot wound. After a brief standoff, Schulte surrendered to Otter Tail County Sheriff's deputies.
For most states in the United States, last year ended on a strong note, but there are a few places in the U.S. that are struggling. The Washington Post is reporting that North Dakota likely saw its economy contract during the last 3 months of last year. We want to show you a map. It measures things like employment, hours worked in the manufacturing arena, and unemployment rate. The economy in states in light red shrinking a little, while the states in darker red shrinking more. North Dakota is included in that. This report goes on to say that the main reason is for historically low oil prices. The price of a barrel of Brent crude has fallen from over $100 in mid-2015 to less than $35 a barrel today.
An idea from one school resource officer in Fargo is gaining interest among area schools. It's called Cop Talk, and it's the brainchild of Officer Chad Moen. He says he wanted to have those important conversations following the Ferguson, Missouri protests and thought the students would be a good audience. So far, they have covered topics such as traffic stops, loud parties, and what happened as a student was slammed to the ground by an officer in a South Carolina classroom. And with teenagers able to access everything digitally at their fingertips, Moen says they might see just one short video and form their opinions off of that.
And so I want them to look at the whole story and then come to their own conclusion. It still may be negative of law enforcement, but at least they have a better understanding, a realistic perception of what's going on there.
There's a similar program being planned at Davies High School in Fargo, too.
In the race to stay on top of trends, toys with the ability to connect with the internet are becoming very common.
But unlike Apple or Google, a lot of toy manufacturers don't have a team of people dedicated to cybersecurity, leaving the personal information of your children at risk of being taken by hackers. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker has more on this.
Staying connected through smartphones and tablets, it's just become part of our daily lives. But what happens when that technology goes into kids' toys? Easy access for hackers, according to a Guardian article that focused on Fisher-Price's smart toy Bear, which uses the child's name, birthday, and gender to personalize the experience for the kid. Ashley Lee is a mother to a 21-month-old who already has toys that connect to the internet.
He's got a little dog that you hook up to the computer and you can put his name in it and all this information, so his name will be in there, so when it talks to him it says his name.
Lee says the next time she buys a toy for her son, it's going to be met with caution.
I suppose we just need to take better precautions on what we're letting him play with, what kind of information is being put out on the computer.
But the vulnerability of Wi-Fi connected toys doesn't surprise younger people.
People will always hack their internet, and it's not good. The younger ages, their names are getting out there at, when they're not supposed to be. They're not even legally supposed to, have their names out there.
And for parents looking to buy smart toys, Lee has some advice.
Pay attention to what kind of information it's asking for. Thinking it through before actually putting it in there online is a good thing to do.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Before you buy your child a smart toy, cybersecurity experts say if you feel like the toy is asking for too much identifying information, don't give it to them.